What's up, everyone? Champ Bet's back again with another UFC main event breakdown this week for UFC Vegas 90 at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. We got Brendan Allen versus Chris the Action Man Curtis, and I'm excited for this fight. This is a rematch on short notice, like the first fight, which was on short notice, but this time it's 5 rounds in a main event slot. Brendan Allen was originally scheduled to fight Marvin Vettori, but now we have Chris Curtis stepping in to fight the Brendan Allen on a big win streak now at middleweight division to go up in the rankings. I'm very excited about this fight. This fight, Scott, I can see this go either way, but the more I've been researching, the more I lean Brendan Allen to win. So you might be asking, whoa, Champets, why are you going with the guy who got knocked out the last time they fought? Last time he fought Chris Curtis. Let's get into it. So, a few things I want to bring up. Like I said, Brendan Allen's on a nice win streak right now. He's since that Chris Curtis KO, which was his last loss. Well, this is grappling, this is different. Sam Alvey, so what? I'll be honest, so what? A Malkoun win, which is very good. Malkoun was out-grappling him, out-wrestling him for the most part in that fight, but he did more damage, ended up doing more damage at UFC 275, ended up winning that fight. Krzysztof Jotko with a rear naked choke, that's a good win. Jotko's not a bum. That's a good win. Andre Muniz, saw about rear naked choke. That's pretty bananas. I did not see that coming. I picked Muniz in that fight. Brendan Allen really impressed me that day. Beats Bruno Silva by rear naked choke in a freaking firefight. That was an awesome fight. And man, Brendan Allen showed his heart in that fight. And the Paul Craig fight, he looked so damn good. He looked so damn good against Paul Craig, who Paul Craig looked really good against Andre Muniz as well. So I think that's pretty impressive. Now let's look at Chris Curtis, what he's done since that Brendan Allen fight. Since Brendan Allen, he beat Rodolfo Vieira with a fantastic takedown defense. Lost to Jack Hermanson in that fight where Jack Hermanson was keeping distance. And Chris Curtis does not know how to cut off the cage, which, to be honest, not much has changed about that. Joaquin Buckley win, where he got a great KO. He was down on the judges' scorecards, even though I thought he won that first round, but defense is magnificent and was able to get the win there. Kelvin Gastelum was a close fight. Many people thought Curtis won. I thought Gastelum won, but I was in the arena, to be fair, so maybe it was a little hard to see. The headbutt did change things and made people think Gastelum won that second round because of that. But he looked good in that fight. Nasruddin Imavov, man, Imavov was piecing him up so bad. I can't believe it was a no contest. I was so sad. The clash of heads. He got out of that fight. Curtis was losing that fight very badly. But he was being tough. Let's give some credit there. And he won the Marc-Andre Barriault fight, which I thought was really close. I kind of leaned Barriault to win, but I wasn't mad at the result. It was close. Split decision for a reason. Yeah. So let's get into some of the more details after looking at their resume. One thing that's clear when looking at their records is that one guy is on an upward trajectory, other guy's either stagnant or kind of leaning more towards a downward trajectory, and I think he's kind of more towards a downward trajectory. Brendan Allen's now in his prime. When he first fought Curtis, I believe he was 25 years of age. Now he's 28 years of age in his prime, while Chris Curtis is now 36 years of age. He's getting older. It's not a young man's sport. It's middleweight, so you can get away with being older and you can still do good. But something you can't ignore in my eyes. So something I thought when looking back at that first fight was that Brendan Allen was doing pretty well considering. This was on short notice, and at the end of the day, he really did get caught. And he was fighting Chris Curtis this fight. Chris Curtis wants to get in the inside and box with you. That's what he wants to do. And Brendan Allen was fighting his fight, and he was doing pretty all right fighting Chris Curtis this fight. But he did end up getting caught, which is not good for him. But I think it's a learning experience. I think he's learned from last time. Oh my God, I do not want to do it. If he does do that, he's stupid. We'll see. But this fight is not as short notice as that first fight was. And something to mention was Chris Curtis, he beat Phil Hawes not too long before taking that fight. So it's not so removed from like a training camp to like step in. This time, not so much the case. I'm pretty sure he was not scheduled to fight anyone, or maybe he was scheduled. Let me check. Was he originally scheduled to fight Fluffy at 298? It might have been, but Curtis withdrew for a reason. Or no, this is before. My bad. I'm mixing up timelines. Yeah, he wasn't scheduled for anything else. You can see in Tapology. He takes this fight on short notice. We can bring back this page. Here we go. And so there's not as much time. There was not as much time before to prep, but now Allen's had a few weeks to prep. It's like at least 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, to prep for Chris Curtis, which is more than last time. And the great thing for Allen's sake is that Chris Curtis has not really changed much as a fighter. He is who Chris Curtis is. He wants to get inside. He wants to box you. Brendan Allen may be a little bit different. His grappling game has improved so much. He was a purple belt in the past. Now, since he's gotten that black belt in jiu-jitsu, my God, this dude's grappling is next level at middleweight. And since then, Allen's been able to study him since he's been ranked, and like he's been seeing Curtis for a while now in other fights. And something else to mention, Curtis just fought the power bar Marc-Andre Barriault, who is Brendan Allen's teammate on Kill Clip. So I think he can maybe get some things from Marc-Andre Barriault from that fight, which is very, very close. And I don't even need to say this, but like if this fight ends up on the ground, which it might, I'm not super sure it will, because Chris Curtis, there's got to give credit to him. He's got fantastic takedown defense. He does. I'm not so sure, but if we get there, but if we do, it's a massive advantage to Allen. And even if it's there for one round, the fight's going to lean heavily towards Allen, because Curtis is going to be worried about the takedown and stuff like that. And maybe Imavov was able to show Allen that, hey, you are able to take down Chris Curtis, and this is actually possible. It's not like it's impossible to do it. On the feet, what I think Allen can do, I think he can make it a lot like the Jack Hermanson fight, where he was outside of range from Curtis, and he stayed at range and picked him apart. And you saw Curtis get super frustrated because he can't cut off the cage, and he's always had this problem. And Allen can replicate that. Allen said in the pre-fight press conference that he's not afraid to have a boring fight. And to me, I really like that for him. I want him to fight a boring fight to win this fight. Don't go to war with Chris Curtis. For the love of God. It's not you're fighting his fight. You're not fighting your fight if you do that. And yes, of course, Allen's a lot better than he was. And at the time they fought, Allen was not super focused. What I mean by that is, in the fight, you can hear Sean Strickland in Chris Curtis's corner like shout, oh, blah 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 blah, all this stuff to Allen. Allen's smiling and stuff like that, and looking out the cage and stuff like that. It's not mature. It's not mature to do all that stuff. And I think that stuff gets in the way of fight, like you trying to fight your best fight. And I think with the maturity Allen has shown, and he's getting older and older, he's gonna be more focused. Even if Strickland does those things, I don't think Allen's gonna react to those anymore. And of course, Strickland was the last person before Curtis to beat Brendan Allen, so I think maturity is gonna play a big role in leaning towards Allen's favor in this one. He's gonna perform better because of it, since that was the thing that happened last time. And something I also want to mention about Chris Curtis was that back then he had nothing to lose. Like, he's willing to go in short notice and try and fight these dudes. Since then, you've not really seen, I feel like, the same guy. There's like less pop in his shots, if we're being honest here. And he's getting older. As I said, he's almost 37 years of age. So I feel like this is one of those things where I think the rematch is going to go different than the original fight. So at the end of the day, I lean Allen. I have a small bet on Allen. Maybe if Allen is minus 200 or below, I would probably put in more money. Because I think the improvements he's made, being older in age, more in his prime, He's preparing for a 5-rounder. Chris Curtis, I'm not worried about his cardio. His cardio will probably be fine. Brendan Allen has shown cardio deficiencies in the past, but this now we're in another 5-round fight. Is not his first rodeo for a 5-rounder, so I think his cardio will be better as a result of that. He's gonna be more prepared for something like this, and man, this dude is getting a lot better, and I think he wins this one at the end of the day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the main event breakdown. I like Brendan Allen to win this fight against Chris Curtis. And yeah, check out our new full card breakdown of the Allen versus Curtis 2 card that will come out sometime probably later today or tomorrow. Probably today, that's the goal. So yeah, be sure to stay tuned to that. And for more Champ Bets content, we have a website. Feel free to go on our website, and to get our best bets from that website, pay a subscription of $16 a month, and that's $4 for each event. And yeah, feel free to chat it up with me in the comments, or if you join up with the $16 membership, you can join the Discord and talk with me specifically. So yeah, have a great one. Let's get into it. Let's have a good one.